It has been a min, but let's go.
Yo! Chat, here we go. Iffy with a $100 donation. Right as we started, I wanted to make sure that these guys knew. Best of 5 is what I am pretty sure we're doing. That's what it's normally assumed. We didn't clarify. But Iffy, thank you for the $100 donation to the prize pool, I'm assuming. And now that I've told them, it is, even if you didn't want it to be. But Evo's going to score first. He's rocking the version 1 decal, trying to channel his inner beast mode. Evoh and Chronic have played 3 of the times on my stream. Oh my goodness, Evoh absolutely styling at the start. And I want to say Chronic won the first 2. The most recent meeting between them, Evoh was able to win. I want to say that one might have even gone to game 5, or it was close all the way down. Now, they meet again for a 4th time. Can Evoh tie up the series between the 2 of them, or will Chronic maintain the big brother type lead he's had in the history of these matchups? Oh my goodness.
$200 prize pool now.
Yo, sweet for you. Thank you so much. Evoh, what kind of defense is this? I'll let these guys know. $200 now. Best of 5. Yeah, it's best of 5. We made the prediction best of 5, so we'll keep it best of 5. We won't clarify any farther. Thank you. Iffy and sweet for you. $200 right off the bat to make it a nice best of 5. I'll put that on the scoreboard here at my next opportunity, which will probably be in between. Oh my goodness. Sabin with the 50 gifted subs. Sabin. Thank you so much. Here, I'm going to mute this, unfortunately. The stuff will show up on screen, but so people don't have to listen to the sub alert 50 times, courtesy of Sabin. We'll turn that off, but thank you so much, man. Don't you know right now it's time to gift Reddles subs? Reddles should be farming all the gifted subs in all of Twitch right now, but seriously, thank you. Much appreciated. You guys hooked me up big time at the start of this stream. I know technically the prize pool is hooking these players up, but I consider that hooking me up as well. So thank you. Wow. Crazy support to start. For a classic on the stream, Chronic and Evoh, one of the 2 players who have played the most out of anybody. I think Evoh now handily has the most 1v1 matches played on stream. And Chronic, he has played in nearly every tournament I've ran. I'm trying to think if he's missed a single one. I want to say he's actually finished 3rd, like tied for 3rd in basically every single tournament, except for maybe the Feer 5, which is a different kind of format where you can't really finish 3rd. He dominated in that. But it's funny, Chronic is the phase of my tournaments. Because while he's a top-tier player, certainly capable of winning almost everything, he always seems to get, 3rd, or I guess he did get 2nd in the Swamp. He lost the first killer recently. But never quite able to win it all. On the other side of the field, Evoh has also not had a ton of tournament success. He's just had good wins along the way. Base getting caught at the drive-by. I mean, that's just the reality. Everybody knows FaZe struggling to get out of that 3rd, 4th curse. Chronic, the fake. It'll go low. It'll be a 3-2 lead. Chronic and Evoh, both known to be high-flying 1v1ers. They love their wall-to-air dribbles off kickoff, and Evoh making me look like an absolute genius as he wins this kickoff and takes one up in the air. Chronic tries to challenge him early, and Evoh patiently waits for the 50 to tie up the game. Chronic was thinking about looking to cut it off at the very start, and, the replay didn't take it far enough back, but I wonder if he just decided it was a bit too risky to pressure the ball from a losing position on kickoff. He's going to lose one directly into his net. Wait, Evoh! Oh, I thought he choked there for a second. But he did connect. Swings of momentum back and forth. Both of these guys seemingly scoring 2 goals in a row, going from down to leading. Right now, just over halfway through the game, Evoh in control at game number 1. Chronic, air dribble, bump on Evoh. He wasn't able to connect on it, and Evoh should have an open net here. Even though he doesn't have any boost, The counterattack will be easy. Got to have good speed on the ball when going for those air dribbles. Otherwise, you might find yourself falling too far ahead of the play like Chronic just did, leaving your net completely wide open. The Discord notification says something about Reddles' stream. Yeah, before we started the show match, we were watching Reddles' stream. I'm sure you guys have heard about Reddles' situation in the pro scene. But he recently went live for the first time while using his mic. He went live no mic earlier. But he did have his mic on today, and so everybody was showing him a ton of love. And I wanted to hype it up. I had scheduled this show match already, but I wanted to show at least a little few minutes of love to Reddles. I'm sure the gifting subs for Reddles is not over just yet. Chronic a demo off the air dribble from Evoh. So now tons of space in between them. He's really liked these air dribble bumps, but Evoh actually connects with him just enough to push him back into the ball and pop it over the crossbar. Now Evoh with possession, but absolutely no boost. Cannot manage to keep it as Chronic steals it away. He's going to go low 50. And he's been really patient bringing the ball to the goal line, because Evoh has not been coming out to challenge him. But so far, Evoh's goal line defense has just been enough to slow Chronic down. Chronic, an air dribble into the reset. He's actually so high, it limits his possibilities. He has to let it fall a decent amount before he can really make an outplay, because he can't make the outplay at ceiling level. And so Evoh knows that he can just, come up and challenge him before the ball gets too low, and there's really not much that Chronic can do. And now an outplay as he dribbles this one. Not even much of a dribble, just popping it once over the top of Chronic after chipping it. 6-4, 33 seconds left to go. Chronic is going to need a bit of magic on the kickoff here. Going to go straight diagonal, trying to push the ball right, but it goes left. So Evoh will take to the skies. He needs to be patient, but he is not one to slow down under any circumstance. Goes for the ground pinch this time around. And now Chronic needs to score on this opportunity. He doesn't have the luxury of following this one up, I don't think. And that first flick, that's what I'm talking about. Even if this does go in, it's costing him so much time. Trying to make a doomsday. Good touch. 7 seconds. Certainly possible, but valuable time wasted. What will Evoh do on this kickoff? I wonder what kind of kickoff Chronic would prefer. I don't know what angle we're going to get. Whether he wants straight on, diagonal. Well, he's going to get straight on. And Evoh not likely to fake in this position. Oh, Chronic, he tried to delay it slightly. And Evoh just pushed it right past him. Evoh taps it away. It hits the ground. And game number 1 goes to Evoh. And his $200 best of 5. Game number 2. Quickly, the community showing some serious love, making this a $200 and therefore much more exciting 1v1. Evoh has been known to turn it on specifically when prize pools are available, so you don't have to worry about Evoh not giving it his all in this one. Evoh, he finds an open net. Chronic creeping out to the corner. He throws the whoops because he was perfectly exposed. Chronic missed the first corner boost, and so he realized he needed to go out and grab another, but Evoh, good spot. Likely saw on the corner of his eye that the first boost wasn't picked up, and Chronic was likely to think that he had time to steal another. Evoh going to lose this kickoff in theory, but in control of it. Up the wall and off the ceiling, far away from the net. He's going to go for another pinch. These have not gotten the kind of power that he's going to need to get past the defender in 1v1. Chronic, he has been given tons of space all series long. Evoh, after his possession, is going all the way back to his net. He doesn't want to challenge. He doesn't want to put any pressure. Look, he's literally set up almost on the back wall. He's giving Chronic the entirety of the space on the field, saying, do whatever you want. I plan on being able to save it. And I think Chronic is reacting accordingly, which is just playing a really slow play and dribbling it all the way to the net. And then it's just so hard to make a good save in that position, because even if he does, Chronic's attack is... it costs him nothing. He gets to save basically all his boost, and he gets to just continue, if the first attempt is saved, to eventually find the goal. So I'd be surprised if this works out for Evoh across the whole series, just constantly leaving the ball. In fact, right here, he's going to try and put some pressure on, looking to demo Chronic. Doesn't connect. And now staying around the play despite no boost. Chronic bumps into him and actually accelerates him into the clear and into the midfield boost, which helps him stay alive and stay equal in this game. From the ceiling, the Musty's not going to connect. Chronic going to take this to the right side wall. Do what he's known best for. Evoh's pre-jumping the wall roll-up, and it actually worked out. He was able to steal possession and pop it over the top of Chronic. He's going to throw the sorry. I'm not sure who he's apologizing to. Just a quick single jump off the wall into the wave dash to get right back up to the ball. How are the subs still coming in? Saban gifted 50. So they're going to be rolling in for a while. Chronic trying to show Evoh how the pinch is done, but also not having any success with it. Certainly far too close to the net. Evoh has the read and challenges before the pinch ever really comes out. Chronic wall to air dribble. One of the first in the 1v1 game to go to it as consistently as players do now. This demo of Evoh. He's got tons of space and time. This time he earned it as opposed to Evoh just handing it to him. He's going to go for yet another on-card dribble. Trying to double it off the backboard, and in he does. Catching Evoh out for his patience. I think he was expecting an Evoh challenge here, and so he's hoping to flick over the top of him, but it turns out Evoh's fake put him in just as poor of a position as if he had actually gone and had the ball flung over him. So Chronic will double it in for a second, and a kickoff win for him now. Wall to air dribble once again. This time he's got Evoh retreating a little bit later. Always harder to make a save from that position, but the wave dash does not find an angle. Saban, thank you for the additional gifted sub, by the way, to F Huss. Much appreciated. Evoh caught on the wall above the ball. These players love to set up dribbles. Chronic just noticed an open net, so he'll take it. Evoh, not wise of Chronic's position. He could easily just boom. And you see him turning in field, thinking there was some possible way he could pressure the ball, but he needed to just panic retreat. But as I was saying, players find themselves frequently above the ball or equal with the ball on the wall, which means you can't chip the ball up to dribble it. And in the past, I think players would just always give up on plays. They would let the ball fall and turn it into something on the ground. But we're seeing more and more recently players just trying to double it off the ground. Instead of giving up, they're still going to play from high up in the air, but instead of using the wall or the backboard as their position to double from, they just slam it onto the ground and try and keep it moving at a pace that the defender can't read. And I think that's something that has certainly changed about that position in ones. The Noli one was sick at Worlds. Did Noli get a ground double at Worlds? Ooh, that's a nasty, musty. Evoh, the camera checks to make sure he's got all the time in the world to slam it in. Chronic's going to throw in the nice one. A great scoop. And he's going to thank himself. All Evoh has done is thrown it okay. I don't even remember the situation that he threw the okay in. Chronic wall to air dribble. Reset catch. It's done really well. And he almost baited Evoh into making a mistake, but he just missed wide. It was a really good setup. The setup on the dribble was aimed towards the far post away from Evoh, so there was no way Evoh was going to get a save while staying glued to the back wall, which means he does have to come off the wall fairly early. And that's when you can get a read to use the reset and outplay them, which is what Chronic tried to do. He just missed slightly wide. Down one with 45 seconds left to go. Aggressive behavior from the zero boost player as he desperately needs another goal, and he's just earned himself a corner boost here. Can he keep possession? Doesn't seem like he'll be able to. Evoh, long shot. Could be a bit of a mistake. I don't think that was the catch that Chronic necessarily wanted. I feel like he was trying to push the ball even faster back towards the net. Now Evoh, can he hold on to this? Chronic tried to take it away. Evoh got just enough of it to stay in control. 15 seconds left to go. This needs to be a really solid challenge from Evoh in the air. Otherwise, he's got Chronic going the other way. Can Chronic find a way to shoot this, even though it bounced off the ceiling. The reset, the shot, and Chronic. How many times has he done this on stream? The master of clutch in the air needed a goal, and he needed it now. And he gets the reset to shoot it past Evoh. 5 seconds left to go. Chronic did the hard work, but can he finish it off now in game 2, tie up the series with another one, maybe before overtime? That's probably going to hit ground, so it will be overtime. Crucial kickoff here from Chronic. He does win it, and it does seem like he's going to be able to gain control as opposed to the previous ones that were headed to Evoh's net that Evoh just started the possession with, although not a great first touch. It's pretty hard to get a good angle when you fall in too deep into the opponent's half, but I do think there were probably plays better than what Chronic just did, which was to hand over possession right away. Evoh now looking to keep this ball in the blue half. Going to have a hard time doing so as this challenge gives control over to Chronic. He's going to go back to what he did before. Another low 50, faking the flick and squeezing it low if Evoh is going to continue to refuse to challenge and just head back to the goal line. Chronic is going to play ultra patient and just low 50 his way to a game win. Chronic will tie up the series 1-1. Game number 2. The story of the game so far, as chat is pointing out as well, is that Evoh on so many different occasions has let Chronic have the entire field. And it does seem like at the start of this one, he's trying to change that a bit. And what happens is he gets scored on as Chronic takes it all the way from his own back wall to the net. And I think Evoh over-exaggerated the correction there a bit. Sure, he shouldn't give Chronic the entirety of the field and wait on the back line, but he also shouldn't go all the way to the back wall of Chronic in an attempt to put pressure on. Evoh, really nice flick, super strong. It actually looked like Chronic would have had the save even if it was under the crossbar, but I was surprised the kind of power he was able to get out of it. Chronic, good backflip challenge. Evoh able to regain control very quickly, though. I say that. Chronic is putting the pressure on. Will eventually result in a possession for Evoh, but actually he had starved out just enough boost and put Evoh in just enough of an awkward position that Evoh had to give it back to him. Now Chronic through the air, the reset. Faking the wave dash, looking for the bump. Yeah, I don't think he's going to be able to protect the ball for that long. That bounce needs to be a little bit closer to net if he's going to try and stay in front of it. Or he just needs to be a bit more patient on the demo, because he could actually wait even longer and then jump at Evoh instead of instantly jumping as he hit the ground. Chronic. Evoh says stop. I'm assuming it's about the bumps. I'm assuming it's about Chronic slowing the ball down and playing smart, considering the way Evoh is just giving him these free opportunities. Now Evoh's going to come challenge once again in the corner. Great recovery to not get punished. The Nupo style that we've seen so often in ones, but somehow Chronic finds a way. Chases him down with zero boost. Makes him play awkward on the back wall, and then he touches it out where a backwards or a diagonal flip backwards is just enough to angle the ball to the net. 2-1. Evoh, the reset. Gonna catch it and go low. The ball has just enough speed back out to the midfield where he can't turn around and shoot it quickly. He was hoping that it was going to be a soft roll that he could quickly chip back while Chronic was in the air, but just quite couldn't get around it. And then Chronic, the catch and the flick. Evoh challenges early. It doesn't work out. Nothing seems to be working out now, and that's just Chronic being deep in Evoh's head. Evoh needs to try and dictate what happens here in this game as best as possible. Chronic, the air dribble. He goes low. He's got Evoh reacting left and right. I wonder. I mean, off the kickoff is the toughest time. I mean, I do think that Evoh should be challenging those as early as possible. But kickoff, you don't really have a choice. You have to go back and reset on that 100 and then make a later challenge. And I really don't know why Evoh did what he did, which was like fly past the play and then turn back trying to flip into it. Maybe he was just expecting the reset to be used, I guess, and then only noticed late that it was going to be a fake. He was probably positioned well. had Chronic been actually using his flip. But now Chronic full field dribble. I don't think he got that reset. So it is going to make it very easy for Evoh to read. He knows it's coming to the ground, and we get a free bucket the other way. Evoh forcing this ball out of the midfield. The best he can do. But he is going to have to relinquish possession. Chronic has found a way to 50 this towards Evoh's net. He's got an opportunity to steal boost, but will he get caught out? He's still having to recover from this, and Evoh, yeah, it's just low enough. Now, it has switched right back the other way. Chronic made a risky dive into the back corner to grab Evoh's boost. Thought he might leave the net open, but actually, he recovers back just enough. And because he left that window open, Evoh got, greedy. He thought he had a chance to score, so despite being at a boost disadvantage, he kept with the play, and it leaves an opportunity open for Chronic to go up 5-2. Chronic, slow bounce dribble. Evoh once again camping in net. This time it is going to work out for him. But Chronic does steal the back corner, but he bumped Chronic in the process. Evoh did, that is. Evoh bumped Chronic. He didn't get to the open net. He couldn't get the shot at the bounce, and now he needs to recover with 0, and it's not going to be as fast as Chronic's recovery with boost. Make it 6-2. You see Evoh mixing up his gameplay now, doing his best to find a way back into this game. Chronic has just prevented him from ever doing so. In the last series we actually saw from Chronic, I think it was against Yan. Evoh looks like he's forfeiting this game number 3 with 1:32 left to go. 1:34 left to go. It is 7-2. Chronic is great at adjusting. I'm guessing a game forfeit. Let me see. Game forfeit. I assume. Yeah, okay. Game number 4. Chronic has been dominating. Evoh switches into a different octane. He hops out of that game with 1:34 left in it. And Evoh and Chronic both are actually the 2 earliest forfeiters of anybody who's played on stream. And a lot of them have worked out for them. It's hard to blame him. Evoh comes immediately off this one with a goal when he couldn't find anything in the previous games. And I think they just feel that, they can gain momentum back if they get out of a game that's really tough for them and into a new one. Even though it is possible to get 5 goals in 1:34, they could just try and get that mental switch before going to the next game, but it's not what these two are used to doing. Both of them would rather go next, and Evoh showing why right now. 2-0, just 16 seconds into the new game. Evoh, a challenge and an open net. Almost as if the momentum was entirely switched here. Didn't KV1 forfeit game 6 and 7? That's true. Nobody's had a bigger forfeit than KV1 did. But I don't know. These guys have played more games, maybe. Had more opportunities to forfeit single games. Will there be more show matches? One with Nupo? Probably not. I think Nupo is maybe sleeping, or honestly, they could be waking up over there in the Middle East. Chronic air dribble reset, a fast one at that. It does make the read a little bit easier for the defender. I think Chronic doesn't really have a choice to drop it to the ground necessarily when it's moving that quickly, and is very likely to try and just accelerate it past. Chronic, the fake flick. He's finally back on the board. This has done him so well all series long. Has he scored with a flick yet? I think he might have, but he has faked this flick so many times, and Evoh just keeps fighting for it. Jumping up and expecting it to come, and then the 360 finishes. It just goes underneath. It's almost 3 a.m. in Middle East. Yeah, the Middle East guys, though, I'll admit, I have no concept of when they're awake. I feel like, based on when we've done show matches with them, it's like purely random and almost nothing to do with time of day. And I'm sure that's not true. I'm sure it's just a couple different times. There's probably been some late matches or something. But I feel like it's actually not unheard of to have a game with like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. their time. But then also games at the like a regular time, you know, midday. Chronic putting himself back in this game with a direct kickoff. Oh yeah, just a big mistake from Evoh. Evoh missing that boost on his approach to the ball. Chronic, a chip, and a long shot. He does expose Evoh. He's going to say Evoh maybe diving this deep to try and encourage Chronic to attempt to get it over the top of him, expecting that his recovery was going to be good enough, but his recovery was not really close. It's not often a good idea to dive as deep as Evoh did without actually challenging the ball, especially when that player is literally in their back corner. Oh my goodness, that would have been an insane save if Chronic found a way. But he did not. So 6-3. Evoh continues to hold his lead. 3 a.m. is basically 7 p.m. for them, non-sleepers. Yeah, I guess a lot of gamers do have really late schedules. Oh, wow. Fortune is in Evoh's favor right now, as that ball, instead of going in, goes crossbar down directly into his car. Evoh continues to be the player who does the most with his camera when I watch him. Looking to check and see where Chronic was. Wait, did that net just get handed to him for free? Am I crazy? It felt like Evoh made a big mistake and just a free shot was handed to Chronic, but he couldn't take it. Maybe he didn't have enough boost to get around to it or something. He took a way wider angle than I expected and then came in with a much softer shot. Yo, Saban! Thank you for the 10 gifted. My goodness. Saban, that's 60 gifted so far this stream. You are absolutely insane. Air dribble bump from Chronic. And a fourth. For the Evoh win of this? Oh, for the Evoh win of this game or the show match? You have Evoh winning it all. Air dribble cringe, my favorite. Hey, everybody loves a good air dribble bump. The world's favorite player right now, Yan. He's one of the best air dribble bumpers, and he does it whenever he can, so. In fact, I know Rizzo, who just raided, is playing as Rizzo XNZ right now. So all the Rizzo fans should love the air dribble bump. Yeah, and it's cringe. Rizzo, I'll be honest, Rizzo has the best chat in Rocket League for sure, dude. I love being in Rizzo's chat. Memeing in Rizzo's chat is a good time. Evoh, the outplay in the 7th. Nothing like a good dies of cringe in Rizzo's chat, you know? This game definitely still within reach for Chronic. A minute 16 left to go. Evoh bumping Chronic, but ultimately leaving the play. So now, once again, Evoh in net. Chronic is going to go for the flick this time. He's faked it so many times before. And it looked like it probably would have worked again because Evoh kind of pre-jumped it. And his pre-jump intercepted the ball perfectly and turned into a goal. But when you go that early and you're able to read a flick that well, what happens is that when you don't, or when they don't flick it, you get super faked. So I wonder if Chronic had just dropped it. Oh man, Evoh. 9-4. He wants a game 5. One of the craziest regains we've seen after a dominating game 4, or sorry, game 3 for Chronic. Truly felt like the series was over. That even though Evoh was forfeiting, the next game wasn't going to be able to fix it for him. But man, he fixed it. He's got himself a full series. Chronic, the reset, not going to work. Chronic has an opportunity here. Evoh came off the wall, so he just needs to play it slow, and popping it high is one way to play it slow. Anything other than just launching it at the net right at the moment that Evoh is pre-jumping was going to work. But Evoh's like power sliding around on the back wall. 4 goals, 30 seconds. It isn't impossible. Certainly not likely. Wouldn't bet on it. It would take a bit of a choke from Evoh on all the kickoffs. But already, half that time's wasted. Looks like Chronic's not going to try and score him either. He's just going to take it back to his half. So game 5. Another epic addition to the saga of Chronic versus Evoh. And courtesy of chat, a $200 match to go along with just how epic it was. Excuse me, sir. Thank you for the 45 bits, by the way. Game 5, Chronic versus Evoh. Chronic in his own defensive third at the start of this game off the kickoff. Can he gain control of this ball? He has. Chronic rolling dribble. The hook shot is going to be covered. NY Shark Tank, thank you for the tier 1 for 2 months. In a row, that is. 17 total. Ooh, the flick. And the first goal will go to Evoh in game 5. Twitter is super funny right now. Chicago asked G2 to kick him. That's pretty funny. Chronic the pinch. Not going to work. Going to give himself time to maybe reset on boost. Interesting. 360, or sorry, 180 into the backwards challenge. He actually does intercept Evoh. Now quick camera check to see where he's at. You see him holding onto his boost as best possible. He has 60 boost and he can make something with it as long as he doesn't panic here while trying to gain control of the ball. And even here now, has the 40, waits until the right moment, gets the 50, wave dashes, then boosts in order to get the strong shot. And all of that comes from really great boost management throughout the entirety of, that possession, that last 30 seconds or so. Chronic. Wall to air dribble. Gets the reset, uses it so early. Actually found a way to get back down and intercept the ball. I felt like there was an opportunity there. And Chronic just left because Evoh was turned away from the ball. He wasn't going to be able to get a really good save. If he did make a save, it was going to be backwards. And so I thought maybe Chronic had a chance to put him in a tough spot. But he elects to play maybe the safer option. Head all the way back to his half. And now should be able to gain control of this one as it falls from the ceiling. Anonymous Cheerer, thank you for the 1,000 bits. Oh my goodness. Is that, can you cheer anonymously, or is that person actual name an Anonymous Cheerer? Evoh, up 2-1. I didn't know if you could cheer anonymously. Oh, you can do Anon 1,000. Wow. Thank you for whoever threw 1,000 in. Chronic. Gonna get a wall to air dribble again. Not one to back down from it. You know it's a North American matchup when not a single wall to air dribble was ever turned away. That being said, Chronic does miss high, just barely. Almost got the crossbar down. It was a solid shot. One that Evoh couldn't save. I mean, that's what I meant to say, but also not inside the net. Yo, Saban, thank you for the 1,000 bits. You can't be beat. Oh my goodness. And alleged death, thank you for the tier 1. Chronic with only a couple pads. Camped in net against Evoh. Evoh not able to protect the ball. He wanted a 50. He didn't set up the pop into the dribble very well. Evoh will catch this one in the air. One of the things about Evoh that I think I see from tons of players now, but back in the day, Evoh was the best at it and probably the most unique in it, is he will just catch the ball at any time and turn it into a dribble. Tons of players only want to take it when they can catch it smooth and go up into the perfect dribble. But now you see, I mean, Evoh used to do it all the time, but now you see almost all the mechanical players doing it. Any bounce, they know how to get the perfect touch to turn it into a dribble and take it downfield. And Evoh doing that earlier. Wasn't able to get the goal from it. But now Evoh, a supersonic dribble. Not the best dribble to do. It's always going to be easy to read a supersonic dribble. You can't make the ball go any faster. And I've said it a million times, but I mean, it is very important and something to note. You need to be able to threaten two options. You need to be able to threaten speed or slowing down. You need to be able to threaten the flick or the fake. You know, you have to make that defender guess. And as soon as you're going full supersonic, they no longer need to respect that you'll go any faster than you already are. This has been a really defensive battle in Game 5. Chronic only letting Evoh in twice, but still down in the game. Long clear from Evoh. This is going to be an opportunity for a solid possession, potentially. That's actually not a good first touch. Evoh could have pressured him there, decides not to. Lets Chronic take the high bounce, and I think Chronic's going to take this to the ground. He tried to slot it in the bottom right of the net. It looked like Evoh had left the window open for that. He covers it in time. Now Chronic not going to take this dribble. Doesn't like the setup here. And Evoh, the backflip challenge is not going to work. Didn't want to head back to net. Credit him for that, but it is so hard to make a good backflip challenge. And he actually didn't go all in on it. He kind of canceled his backflip, and I wonder if that led to him getting there just a little bit later and getting a slightly poorer challenge. Obviously, he thought it was important to keep his car position that way to try and win the 50. Oh my goodness, Chronic! In the final moments, Evoh has been holding this game lead for so long, up 2-1. Chronic gets one, and then off the kickoff, he gets another as Evoh tries to pressure immediately instead of maybe retreating to net. I mean, we talked about it so much. I don't know how much boost Evoh had. Maybe he felt like that was going to be his best opportunity, but he's got himself a possession off kickoff. The quick shot. He bumps Chronic. This should be open, I think. Yes, it is. I say open. A mere mortal would have missed this shot for sure. It needed to have tons of power, but Evoh does it with ease as he slams it past the recovering Chronic. 3-3 with 15 seconds left to go. Really crucial kickoff here. Chronic going to go wave dash, but his car actually doesn't get down to the ground in time to use the wave dash. He has to just fall down. And Evoh has 100 boost. Chronic is starved out. Long clear. An attempt to probably force overtime here, but Evoh is going to have an opportunity to pop it up, and Chronic will tap it to the ground. Overtime. There's a new most important kickoff of the game, and it's this one right here, as the winner of this next goal will decide who goes home with $200. Chronic, he's not going to win the race to his back corner. Evoh's going to have his 100. He's going to try and bump him off the back wall. Chronic, I don't think he's going to be able to get back to this. This should be the freest of nets. Evoh will get the win and tie the all-time series between Chronic and himself. 2 games for Chronic in the early eras of these two. And 2 matches for Chronic and 2 matches for Evoh in the recent memory. An improved player overall, but both these guys at the top of their game.